So this is it, huh? End of the movies, end of the plane. Yeah. Of course you don't say anything. Why start now? I really hope this is all worth it. Well, let's get on with it.
When was the last time you actually got some quality sleep?
Well, I did get all my sleep back together from that hangover from that Patreon request I did, but Mokana, I've had a lot going on in my mind.
Fisking, stupid Knight. You need to sleep. You tried to dry the towels in the oven the other day and bake a cake in the dishwasher.
Yeah, but on the bright side, it made it easier to clean. I'm still trying to question, where in the hell did we get a dishwasher?
I swear, if I wasn't lazy and moved my hands, I would get a tranquilizer gun and just... What the... Oh, Knight!
Your choice is a devil's work! What just happened?
Knight, the locket!
It's never done that before. Well, unless I opened it, but something's happening.
What does it mean?
Oh, I'm not sure, actually, Mocha. There is still one more Scooby-Doo movie left, so if I'm right about this for Con, maybe... Here we go.
Knight? Knight! Well, maybe she'll get some rest that way. Ooh. I know I shouldn't break my sobriety, but I wonder if the liquor store does delivery. Only one way to find out!
Hello? Mokana? You better not be ordering booze from Uber Eats again.
Knight? Is that you?
Con! Yeah, it's me. Are you okay?
As well as can be expected. Shall we get on with this?
Let's.
Alright. Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2 was released on September 26, 2023, written by T.K. O'Brien and directed by Cecilia Aronovich-Hamilton. As the title implies, it's another crossover film, this time with Scooby and the gang teaming up with Krypto the Superdog, and another guest star that we'll talk about in a minute. But first, let's clear up a long-running misconception.
Namely, it's been circulated on the internet that this movie was a victim of Warner Discovery's CEO David Zaslav's massive spree of cost-cutting and outright canceling projects that were either completed or near completion in order to take a tax break on them. While this is what happened to Scoob Holiday Haunt and the background movie, honestly I'm never gonna forgive that one. This movie was not one of the shelved projects, and the misconception happened because the entire movie got leaked on the Internet Archive about 6 months before its release date. And before anyone says Warner's only released it because the film got leaked, it had a listing on Amazon UK for a September release, so long before the movie showed up online.
So no, this movie wasn't shelved, it isn't lost media. As far as I'm aware, it's readily available streaming on Max and it's on DVD. It's just somebody got pissed at all the project cancellations and likely leaked this movie online thinking it was on the chopping block, or just out of spite.
Anyway, the movie opens at the Hall of Justice, and man, it has seen better days. But I guess that's not surprising as we see the Daily Planet headline, which says the Justice League is missing.
Of course, our two trespassers are Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, who have broken into the place to see if they can find out what happened to the JLA. Something clearly happened as there's a giant hole in one of the walls.
I really don't like this.
Maybe you should turn the flash off so you're not attracting attention, Jimmy.
And of course, it's at this point that the monster shows up.
Run, bitch!
You're the only one running, pal. I can
Fly!
The monster chases Lois and Jimmy out of the Hall of Justice, but not before Jimmy's able to get some pictures. And they wonder what to do now.
Who do you call when your heroes need heroes?
I would say Ghostbusters, but we already know what the title of this film is about, so...
Don't give them any ideas, we're just barely out of the obnoxious, annoying skeptic Velma era.
Ooh, good point. Also, Jimmy has a girlfriend?
Get your girlfriend on the phone, Jimmy. Tell her the world needs help.
From here, we go to the credits, which takes the opportunity to homage the original Super Friends intro.
Which I really like. It's fun and nostalgic, in the good way.
Agreed, and the song's pretty good too.
When we come back from the credits, the gang are arriving in the suburbs outside Metropolis. And Con, are you sure we're out of the obnoxiously annoying skeptic Velma era?
We're already traveling at the safest speed science allows.
Okay, I don't get political, but tell it to certain people who took over the government.
Pardon?
Never mind, you've got a lot to catch up on and we need to focus on the movie.
Okay.
Now entering Metropolis, the city of tomorrow. The city of tomorrow was a lot nicer yesterday.
Shaggy, you're not helping as people could be hurt with the damage here.
I forgot how much you think the real world exists in a cartoon.
Not all the time, okay? Jeez, I've gotten better.
Giant woman!
Yes, it seems several supervillains have decided to take advantage of the Justice League's absence and are running amok, such as Giganta, the Joker, and Harley Quinn.
Fred, you shouldn't get excited with Harley Quinn if she's holding laughing gas right now. Also, why could we not have it be Ivy and Harley instead? I just want my bi-woman. Is it too much to ask? And Fred crushing on Harley. I can't. I'm sorry, I just feel like this is out of place. And it will never be mentioned again. That's how pointless this is.
Yeah, I'm calling it. Anyway, after wisely getting the hell away from Arkham's most dysfunctional power couple, the gang run into Solomon Grundy, and we get a callback.
The creeper.
Already solved that mystery.
Okay, I like this callback. It's cute.
But the cute doesn't last because laser beams come out of the clouds and set the Mystery Machine on goddamn fire.
We are not even 10 minutes in, and this movie has already broken me. The Mystery Machine is not fireproof. We've seen it destroyed on several occasions.
Breathe. We haven't even gotten into the main plot yet. But we do get an appearance by General Zod, Ursa, and Nan, and if that wasn't enough, even Brainiac has apparently decided to invade. Again.
Mystery machine parkour.
Parkour! Parkour! Extreme! Parkour! Parkour!
All I can say is that Fred must have some incredible insurance.
After escaping from Brainiac, the gang finally arrive at the Daily Planet. And I totally called it. Daphne is Jimmy's quote-unquote girlfriend.
What?
Yeah, Jimmy may have exaggerated a little. Also, this happens.
And who is this?
Yo, we haven't met. Like, what are you talking about? That's Velma.
Ah, did not recognize you.
Wow, that explains so much on why the citizens can't recognize Superman and Clark Kent now. Makes me wonder what would happen if you removed your glasses, Con.
Not much, though I got mistaken as some guy's butler, though I'm not really sure why.
Huh, that's strange.
Not as strange as when the guy's wife suddenly got attacked by a wandering crocodile. Boy, that was a weird day at the state fair. What?
Okay, moving on.
Great Caesar's ghost! The ghost of a salad!
Alright, movie, that got a chuckle out of me. Thank you.
Metropolis has gone positively Gotham since the Justice League disappeared a few months ago.
Given Batman's general overexposure these days, I am all for this kind of thing.
And I'm all in for another good joke. Thank you, movie.
Anyway, Lois explains what's going on, and since it seems every supervillain has decided to take the League's absence as a cue to attack Metropolis, that means Lois and Jimmy need to cover those events for the planet. Which means the gang are on their own to investigate what's going on at the Hall of Justice and where the JLA went. Oh, and if you'll indulge me for a moment. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice.
You've been waiting for a chance to do that, haven't you?
Oh, bite me, it's fun.
As Lois said, the League has been missing for months, and it looks like the Hall of Justice has been vandalized since then, which freaks Scooby and Shaggy out, of course. But since Daphne gave them their last box of Scooby snacks before they got to the city, the usual negotiations can't happen.
Wow, and I was bluffing.
Okay, never mind.
While the boys fill out the order forms, Velma talks to the woman who runs the food truck, who says she's thrilled the League are gone because they wouldn't let her park her truck outside the hall due to safety concerns, despite the number of tourists who pass the place every day. On top of that, the mayor of Metropolis has apparently organized tours of the place in the League's absence. And also, of course, with the phantoms roaming around, the tour groups usually come rushing right back out and right to the truck.
They'll split one order of super fries, please.
Trust me, lady, Velma saved you the trouble of the duo's most complicated fries order yet. While all this is going on, Fred and Daphne park the mystery machine with the valet. Wait, why doesn't the Hall of Justice have a valet?
You don't know how hard it's been parking Batmobiles and Arrow cars and Green Lantern energy bubbles. I mean, what's wrong with normal vehicles?
Nothing?
Nothing!
Yeah, you're clearly a red herring. I'm not buying it. Now that I think of it, isn't it dangerous to do tours in the Hall of Justice if they still have the League's vehicles?
Oh, never mind that. We've got more important things to wonder about, like the status of Fred and Daphne's on-again, off-again relationship.
So,
He's mistaken. It was camp. We were just friends. Let it go.
I don't want to know about Fred and Daphne's on-off relationship. Can we just go on and not let it be a plot point?
The gang regroup in the lobby where they meet Mayor Fleming and the major DC Comics guest star for this entire movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lex Luthor, the President of the United States.
Former President.
Wait, when was Lex Luthor president? Because I didn't vote for him.
Early 2000s, as I recall. It didn't go well.
Deja vu all over again.
What do you mean?
We have a lot to talk about after this.
And this is Rex. Lex Luthor? That's right.
Your music's bad and you should feel bad.
Good gag, movie. Anyway, Lex takes the opportunity to complain about the Hall of Justice as a tourist attraction.
So many times I told Superman to put in a roller coaster, animatronics, anything.
Technically, that's a ride at Six Flags Magic Mountain, designed like the Hall of Justice. So, thank you for that, movie.
So, Lex being Lex, he's been pressuring the mayor to declare the Hall of Justice as abandoned property so it can be auctioned off and he can get it for dirt cheap. And in true Lex fashion, he's already acting like it's a done deal.
A fleet of LexCorp bulldozers are rolling up as we speak. All you need to do is say the word and I'll mow down this miserable mausoleum of moral mediocrity in minutes.
Okay, Can I call it that Lex feels too obvious to be the main villain? Because he is hamming it up way too much. The gang joins the tour and they spend a few minutes in the trophy room, which features a ton of DC Easter eggs for fans. But some stuff is missing.
There were a few alien artifacts too sensitive to leave out for the tour. The Phantom Zone projector, or projection for that.
So you take out the Phantom Zone projector, but you leave the entire collection of lantern rings out in the open that someone could try on? This would be an entirely different plot if Velma hadn't stopped Scooby.
The mayor gets a call reporting that Lex has upped his bid for the Hall of Justice and that it's large enough that the entire city council may override her and skip the auction entirely. Daphne convinces the mayor to hold off to give them time to find the League, and then the Phantom shows up.
Everybody runs, but Scooby has his head stuck in a Superman photo cutout. So Shaggy grabs a quiver of green arrows and tries to fend off the Phantom. Shaggy, my friend, I think you're causing more damage than the Phantom here.
Scooby gets free and the Phantom seems to be trying to communicate with Velma, except Daphne decides to attack it. Everybody makes a break for it when the Phantom starts chasing them, causing the gang to split up. Things go from bad to worse when Shaggy and Scooby discover the hall is going into emergency lockdown mode, trapping them inside. The Phantom menaces them for a bit, but the boys are ultimately saved when Krypto arrives on the scene.
In the foyer, the mayor and the tourists get out before the emergency lockdown happens, and the gang regroup in the conference room. Unfortunately, Fred, Velma, and Daphne don't believe Krypto has superpowers when they tell them what happened. But all of this is interrupted when Krypto starts pawing at the door to the break room, followed by a loud crash. Now this reminds me of that one scene in Sailor Moon.
Bubble! Sailor Moon, you're in my way!
This infernal machine won't take my dollar.
You have to flatten it out.
The stupid thing just won't take my dollar.
This Lex is on the same level as the one from the Harley Quinn show, and you know what? I'm totally okay with that.
And while the boys actually kind of impress Lex with how fast they can move when food is concerned, Krypto puts them to shame almost immediately.
Honestly, I'm happy with the friendship Scooby and Krypto have in such a short time. Usually we see versions where Krypto can talk, but I like that he's speechless but can still showcase his intelligence and sneakiness with Scooby. It's a nice change of pace, and it reminds me a bit of Wonder Dog from Super Friends.
Yeah, it's great. Also reminiscent of the friendship Scooby had with Courage in Straight Outta Nowhere. It's always fun when Scooby makes a new friend. Anyway, split-up time happens officially with Shaggy, Scooby, and Krypto heading for a room marked kitchen, of course, while Velma goes to look at the closed-circuit camera footage with Lex. How?
I happen to love closed-circuit security camera footage. Race you to it!
Oh, you just know he has a ton of cameras hidden in the LexCorp office bathrooms.
You know, we haven't talked in 6 years, and yet you still put disturbing images in my head.
I know, it's like I've never been away, isn't it?
Anyway, Shaggy, Scooby, and Krypto arrive at the kitchen, but something seems really off about it.
Wait, not now, Krypto. Where was it? It was... Oh dear, excuse me.
Oh, this can't be good. And you know what just as bad? Fred whining about Daphne knowing Jimmy at camp.
Seriously, was it serious?
I'm ignoring you.
Is red hair your thing? Is that it? Well, I don't see how laughing at me is gonna help.
Please, for the love of God, take me back to Mystery Incorporated. At least the relationship was handled better there. And then Fred does this.
Fred, we know Batman. It's not like you haven't seen one up close.
He'd never in a million years let me try it on.
Con?
Way ahead of you.
Although Frank Welker doing his own impression of Batman while still voicing Fred is both cheesy and cool at the same time.
But the Phantom shows up, scares the bejesus out of Fred, triggering the counter again.
My hero.
Oh, come on.
And Fred finds some of Batman's less useful gadgets before he and Daphne escape down the laundry chute. We then go to the command center where Lex and Velma go over the security footage. Well, once they get access.
You think you can just hack into Justice League computers?
Sweetheart, if that were possible, don't you think? By now, I, former President Lex Luthor, billionaire genius, would...
I'm in. Sweetheart.
This whole scene with Lex and Velma is just a wonderful dynamic between the two's personalities, and the dialogue is handled extremely well here.
The footage shows that the food truck lady and the valet have been on the premises several times, and so has Mercy.
When was this?
This is actually live footage. She's in the building right now.
Meanwhile, Fred and Daphne wind up back in the garage on top of the invisible jet.
Hey! What are you doing on Wonder Woman's invisible tank?
I mean, invisible tank. And Fred continues to make the counter go up.
Oh, it's air freshener.
Actually, and I'm really thinking about it, when did Wonder Woman get an invisible tank? Because I don't recall if she ever had that in the comics. I know the jet. I don't know about the tank, so it throws me off completely in this movie. Meanwhile, back in the danger room, I mean the kitchen. They're trying hard not to hide it.
Scooby-Doo, hang in there! There's gotta be another way out! Like, where'd these guys come from?
You know, for AI, they pretty much showcase what silly characters these villains are.
Krypto tries to shut the simulation down, but only succeeds in changing the location several times, winding up with Centennial Park, which leads to probably one of the best rounds of Shaggy and Scooby put on costumes and annoy the monster. Or in this case, the supervillains.
There you are. The t-shirts aren't just for fashion. They're how we keep a head count to ensure we end the tour with the same number of paying customers we start with. But don't worry, we've never lost more than 2 or 3 guests.
Krypto manages to shut the simulation down, allowing Lex and Velma into the kitchen, which impresses the hell out of Lex.
A holographic simulator? Money in the bank!
Lex, this isn't a WWE pay-per-view.
Rosen's gotten you to watch wrestling, hasn't he?
Maybe.
Moving on. The computer scans Krypto's collar and begins playing back security footage from the camera housed in it. We see Superman get thrown through a wall where he tells Krypto to run before vanishing. When they investigate the lobby, Shaggy notices a bulge in one of the tapestries.
But since this is just a recording and Krypto's collar cam didn't record who was hiding behind it, no one can move it to find out who or what it was. Also, there's one other problem as well. Solomon Grundy's been here for real the whole time. Oh, wait, idea!
I've been here the whole time.
The whole time? The whole time? You were... The whole time?
I'll consider that payback for the joke about the LexCorp bathrooms. And can I just say I love Lex's running animation here? It's so delightfully goofy. Anyway, everybody meets back up with Fred and Velma, and shortly afterwards, with Mercy, who is extremely protective about her bag.
Can I help you with the bag?
No! I've got it!
But as Lex puts it,
I've been...
We're running, Mercy!
Cue the chase!
this is, honestly, one of my favorite chases in these movies. The song's great, and the various gags and DC Easter eggs are really fun. But eventually it comes to an end in the monitor room, where Lex tries to negotiate.
Why won't anyone take my money?
Because it's worthless, Lex, that's why. As is Fred's continued use of Batman's gadgets.
I need to have a talk with Batman about this belt.
Also, this implies that Batman's a serious jerk in this universe. And considering who the second Robin is, this also qualifies as one of the darkest jokes in this series since The Brave and the Bold.
Did you lose another Robin?
Yikes. But suddenly, there's a flash of light and Grundy vanishes with no explanation. No, not even Fred thinking he had something to do with it by using Batman's belt.
Nope, I don't think so.
Nope, definitely not. Dream on.
Man.
Man, he's just racking them up in this movie. But things go from bad to worse when not 1, but 6 phantoms appear in the room, which causes Daphne to come clean about her relationship with Jimmy.
I danced with Jimmy Olsen one time at summer camp. It was a big goodbye party and no one would dance with him and I felt bad and it obviously meant more to him than it did to me and if we really only have a few seconds left I couldn't win my last moment of the fraud.
Jimmy Olsen? Huh.
I love how scandalized Lex is by that. Anyway, the Phantoms reach for the gang but vanish again, and so is Mercy. Her bag is left behind, but whatever was in it is gone as well, much to Lex's chagrin. And it seems he's had enough.
Why am I trapped in here with a bunch of kids when I have military-grade bulldozers outside right now, ready to bring this infernal building to the ground?
But Lex's rant apparently provided Velma with the context needed to solve the mystery. Before she can say anything, however, Lex gets a phone call and leaves the room to take it.
But Velma called me president. Everybody heard it. No takesies backsies.
Where have you been?
And Fred ups the counter again.
All we need is the perfect trap.
Say no more.
Krypto gets an idea, and later, Lex comes back to the monitor room after getting lost again.
And before anyone makes jokes, I'll remind you I have a wristwatch disintegrator.
Oops. I'll just put this away then.
The game reveals that you don't need to build a trap because the Justice League were just called away to deal with an emergency. As for the Phantoms...
Swamp dance.
And this is only the beginning. As Lex keeps raising questions, the gang keeps brushing him off, which causes Lex's blood pressure to skyrocket.
Lex feels so out of the loop, it's fun to see him get frustrated.
Lex follows the gang back to the lobby where a tour group has arrived with the mayor. Shortly after this, the Phantoms show up again, which leads to the reveal.
Lex's driver?
Mercy!
Except that's not the only reveal.
Acknowledge.
Oh, nice.
I'll admit it, I wasn't expecting the kitchen to be part of the trap. I loved how it fooled Mercy too.
So basically, Mercy got fed up with Lex and pretty much believes that he lost his edge after he dissolved the Legion of Doom and became president. So she decided to get into the supervillain game herself by using the Phantom Zone projector to get rid of the League, then take over the Hall of Justice for herself as her new base of operations.
And with free snacks!
Did you just hear something?
I'm not sure. Did it sound like Gutzlove hurriedly Googling how to get to Metropolis?
Yes, actually.
Weird.
How to arrive at the Hall of Justice in Metropolis for the free snacks. Don't look at me like that. You were thinking the same thing.
Anyway, when the tour group started coming, Mercy used the Phantom Zone projector on low power to generate phantoms to scare people off. When Grundy got a hold of the dogs, she used it again to zap him into the Phantom Zone, which means that the Phantoms are actually the League themselves trying to get back.
Yoink! Everybody step back!
The power of the Yoink is so strong, even Lex uses it.
Also, the power of Gene Hackman's monologue is equally strong.
When I was 6 years old, my father said to me,
Get out.
Before that.
Ha, ha.
So, Lex zaps the League back into the Phantom Zone and reveals he figured all of this out months ago. He let Mercy run rampant long enough for the mayor to sell him the land. And he reveals that he's got a fleet of bulldozers ready to demolish the Hall of Justice. Which doesn't impress Mercy in the least.
You're not having evil fun anymore.
Oh, no?
So Lex now has an army of kryptonite-powered robots, and Mercy is fully turned on by that.
Oh, Lex, you're back!
Baby, I never left.
Credit where it's due, that's a damn good line from Lex. Krypto gets the Phantom Zone projector from Lex, who calls him a mangy mutt, which was apparently a trigger phrase for Rex.
Initiate defense sequence. Lex Luthor's a robot. Ruh-roh.
Wait, Rex was a robot dog this whole time? I just thought he was a normal dog.
It's Lex Luthor. Do you really think he would have settled for a normal dog, no matter how vicious?
Good point. So Rex keeps Krypto busy while Lex and Mercy get the Phantom Zone projector back and make their escape. Another group of robots targets the game, but Fred gives Daphne the utility belt and runs off while the rest of the game make a break for it.
A game of keep-away ensues as the Phantom Zone projector gets tossed around between the gang and Team Luthor. Eventually, Krypto gets a hold of it, but Rex reveals one more secret. Ah, so he's basically a canine version of Metallo. Got it. Fortunately for Krypto, the cavalry is coming.
Now this is badass Daphne and I love it! She takes out Rex, but Mercy jumps into the fray to get the projector. More keep away happens, but we finally found out where Fred snuck off to.
Is that an invisible tank?
Fred gets some backup from the valet and the food truck lady. The valet is in the invisible jet, and the food truck lady...
Sure, why not? Even more keep away happens with Lex winding up with the projector. Krypto finally recovers from his kryptonite exposure and uses heat vision to force Lex to drop the projector. Helen takes down one of the robots, which allows Velma to climb in and take control of it. She takes out most of the robots, which forces Lex to take command of the one he's on. So we get an all-out robot fight!
He literally knocks Velma's block off, but she's rescued by Daphne, again, and Fred follows up by hitting Lex with the invisible tank. This goes on for a while, as you might expect. But ultimately, the projector's sitting in the open, Daphne gets Lex and Mercy tied up, but the rest of the robots immobilize the gang and their allies. Velma sends Krypto to fetch the projector, but while he's recovered somewhat, he's not back to full power. Which is a problem, because this is when Rex comes back online. Both dogs aren't doing great, but they head for the projector. Rex gets there first and activates it, but...
Krypto sends all the robots to the Phantom Zone and brings back the Justice League. Oh, and Grundy too. Wait, hold on. Batman was never one of the few heroes trapped in the Phantom Zone? For the world's greatest detective, he couldn't figure out his friends were for months on end?
Frankly, the less Batman we have around these days, the better as far as I'm concerned. So, Lex and Mercy are arrested and say the thing.
And I would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for these meddling kids.
And the dogs. Write that down.
And the gang get a picture with Superman and written up in the Daily Planet by Lois. And as for Grundy...
Solomon Grundy, pet you on a Monday.
Aww, he just wanted to pet the dogs. I don't blame him. Oh yeah, let's wrap up the whole Daphne and Jimmy thing.
I feel like you've been holding me back.
Wait, you're breaking up with me? We weren't even...
There, Daphne, let it all out. Freddy's here.
You know what? After over 100 Idiot Fred moments, I actually do like seeing him get to be a little bit of a snarky bastard. Good for you, Fred. Oh, and Clark Kent shows up to see what's been going on.
I sure hope I didn't miss anything exciting.
What are you talking about? You were just here, Super.
Right! I forgot Velma saw the glasses in Superman's room during that chase montage earlier, but you don't announce his secret identity to the world like that!
And to cap things off, Krypto does one more heroic deed.
Wait, why did the Flash eat those?
White as Shaggy. Anyway, thoughts on the movie?
Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2 is a fun, cheesy animated film that pays homage to what made Super Friends such a wonderful watch as a kid. The animation is spectacular, though the design of the Joker looks too plain for my taste. The red herrings were very minimal, and to be frank, were not really needed for this mystery. Heck, the mystery itself was one could solve right away the moment Lex was introduced. Having all the other DC villains were just quick cash cameos and were barely involved in the plot. Even the side plot with Daphne and Fred is one we've seen in too many of these films already. But the scenes with Velma with her rivalry with Lex were entertaining, and I enjoyed when Krypto was with Shaggy and Scooby. And Justice League were barely in the film, but it's fine since the focus was on Mr. Incorporated and Krypto. While logic is tossed out the window because yes, I know it's a cartoon, I can say this is one you can enjoy and have a good time with.
Crossovers, as we've seen, can be really tricky to pull off, but this one is probably the best crossover of these movies. Everything is balanced well, with neither the gang or the DC characters hogging the limelight. Pairing the gang off with Lex on top of Krypto works really well, since we rarely get to see the gang have prolonged interactions with bad guys. The gags range from funny to hilarious, and it all culminates in an appropriately over-the-top comic book style climax. Sure, it gets a little silly in places, but no more so than your average late Silver or early Bronze Age comic. Krypto and Scooby have a fun dynamic, and this movie is just fun all around. Give it a watch sometime. But this now leads to the question, what's next for Scooby-Doo? And honestly, things are up in the air right now.
As part of Warner Discovery's continued cost-cutting and seeming hatred of animation in general, a whole bunch of Scooby-Doo related projects have been shelved or cancelled. The prequel to Scoob, Holiday Haunt, that I mentioned earlier, was completed but is never going to be released for a tax write-off. On top of that, 2 other Scooby-Doo projects were cancelled before they ever got off the ground. A new TV series aimed at preschoolers, Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Pups, only has some concept art, and the next planned movie, Scooby-Doo and the Haunted High Rise, reportedly had a script written and voices were recorded, but then got shut down before it even made it to the storyboard phase.
Which means that 2024 was the first year since 1998 to not have a major Scooby-Doo project released of any kind, ending a 25-year streak that had started with Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Right now, we just don't know what plans, if any, Warner's has for Scooby-Doo in the future. But if Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2 is the last released Scooby project for a while, it certainly ended this run with a bang. And with that, we come to the end of what is, for now at least, the last of the 30-plus films of Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Now I know how everyone feels when this happens. My head.
Night! You're awake! You're okay!
Yeah, I'm back. Mokana, are you drinking? Seriously?
Thank you, I actually almost lost it there. But hey! Khan is back, right? Where is he?
I don't know. We finished the movie, so Khan should be here right now. Okay, why would you start? What? Oh, great. This is not good. Ah! Wait, you can have a jacket! Thank you. Ah!
Oh, it's cool that you got your jacket, Knight, but what about Mokana? I want to come too. Don't close the door. You could break it, Mokana. You could break it with the booze you just have. Do it for Knight. Don't do it.
Okay, what was that about, huh? What is that doing here? Right, magic.
I really hope this works. The hell?
No. You're real?
I am.
You're back?
I'm back! So, California, huh?
Yeah. Oh, Rosa and Casey got married.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Wow. I got a lot I gotta get caught up on. Shit, I gotta figure out a way to get back to Utah. Shit, I don't think I have a place to live anymore.
Oh.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far.
Why am I not surprised to see you? Because the rules of the fictional plane still have residual effects where you're concerned, Mr. Khan. They should dissipate in a few days. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Nightmare.
Oh, yeah, sure. What are you doing here?
Wrapping up the loose ends. Mr. Khan. Wait a minute. These are mine. Indeed, I've been keeping your lease and your rent up to date, as well as making sure that your apartment has been occupied during your absence. Except this is not my car key. Ah, yes. As you got closer to completing your goal, I started making everything ready for your return. Your car, quite frankly, was on its last legs, and the cost of repairing it was more than the vehicle was actually worth. So I had it replaced. Why? I'm sorry, I beg your pardon? Why would you do all this? To stop me from suing you? I don't know how to convince you any further that I am not the villain here, Mr. Khan. I neglected to tell you the consequences of placing all those items in contact with each other, and you wound up in the fictional plane as a result. I have spent considerable time, effort, and resources in getting you back to the right side of reality, to the detriment of my own career and status. What more must I do?
He has a point, okay?
What?
Look, Colin, I had no way to bring you back, okay? Anderson gave me a set list. And if he didn't do that, you wouldn't be here right now, so thank him.
I hate it when you're right.
Yeah?
And being ungrateful.
Also, yeah.
Thanks, ampersand. Thank you. You're quite welcome. I have arranged accommodation for you at a nearby hotel, and you should be put on a first-class flight home in the next couple of days. I will be in touch with details later. And afterwards? Quite honestly, once you're on that flight home, I seriously doubt we'll have any reason to speak to each other. My business with you is concluded. However, if you do find yourself in need of legal advice, feel free to give me a call. Well, thanks. I guess. You're quite welcome. Thank you again for your assistance, Miss Nightmare.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Yeah. Actually, question.
Yeah?
What are you gonna do about the chest?
That thing?
Mm-hmm.
Probably take it home. Probably use it for something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe you could...
The hell?
Oh, no. Be careful.
Oh, you have got to be shitting me.
What is it?
Unfinished business.
Where the cool kids rule. Monster, monster high, monster high, monster, monster high. Come on, don't be shy, monster high. A party never dies.
Here come those meddling kids to join the chase. No creep can keep them away. Don't try to stop them. When monsters all disappear without a trace, the kids find the clues right away. The villains never learn that crime doesn't pay, and they'll regret what they did, and they'll be sorry. If they were lucky, they'd have gotten away. If it wasn't for those meddling kids. Catching monsters can be pretty hairy, glowing eyes.
Oh, thank God. This flight was terrible. And I don't think I've ever been so delighted to be here as I am right... Who the hell are you? Huh? Oh, hey, how you doing? I'm Vinny. Yeah, well, that lawyer said you'd be back today. We've kind of been keeping the place warm for you until you got back. One sec. Hey, Skip! He's back! Yeah, Vinny, what's all the yelling? Oh! Hi! Wow! Kinda awkward. You see, didn't expect you back so soon. Still haven't quite got all my stuff out of your bedroom yet, but we're working on it. It's fine. Shouldn't take too long. Maybe an hour? Or 3? Maybe 6. But, good to have you back. Sorry about that. He's a moron. I heard that. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, we'll get everything sorted out. You can get back to your room, make yourself comfortable, and we'll get to know each other. Nice to meet a new roommate. Two of you. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. I'm just gonna go shower and I'm just gonna... What do you mean, roommate? Well, yeah, you see, we kind of been living here for the last 6 years, paying the rent, and it's kind of gone up every single year. And Ampersand said he ain't paying the rent after next month no more. So, yeah, you kind of, until you get another job and can start helping out around here, I guess we're kind of stuck with each other. You know? Sure. Sure, why not? Make yourselves comfortable. You already have, I'm sure. Puppets! Why not puppets? Sure! Puppets everywhere!